Have you ever wondered why some people achieve everything they set out to do, while others seem trapped in an endless cycle of distraction and mediocrity? The answer lies in one word: focus. In the next few minutes, you'll discover how the practice of mindfulness, combined with the timeless principles of Napoleon Hill, can completely transform your ability to concentrate and achieve extraordinary results in your life and business. Most entrepreneurs fail not because of a lack of ideas or resources, but because of their inability to keep their minds focused on a defined goal. Today, you'll learn how to cultivate that skill like never before. 1. The power of full attention is the first step to manifesting success in any area of your life. Napoleon Hill explained it clearly. Whatever the mind can conceive and believe, the mind can achieve. But here's a fundamental detail that few understand. You cannot conceive or believe in something you're not completely focused on. Think about this. Right now, your mind is processing thousands of stimuli, but you're only aware of a few. The background noise, the room temperature, the sensations in your body, your concerns for the day. And yet here you are, focused on these words, right? That's the power of directed attention. When you learn to control it, you control the rudder of your destiny. Most people live in a state of perpetual distraction, with their minds divided across multiple channels. They're physically in a meeting, but mentally reviewing an argument they had yesterday. They're working on an important project, but checking their notifications every 5 minutes. This fragmentation of attention is the great dream thief of our era. Napoleon Hill studied the most successful people of his time for over 20 years and discovered something revealing. All of them, without exception, had developed the ability to maintain intense and prolonged concentration on their goals. They weren't necessarily smarter or more talented than the rest. They had simply trained their minds to focus like a laser beam on what really mattered. Have you noticed how, when you're truly absorbed in something you're passionate about, time seems to vanish? Have you experienced those moments of absolute clarity where everything flows effortlessly? That's precisely the mental state that great entrepreneurs deliberately cultivate, not by accident. Here's a practical exercise that will transform your ability to focus in the coming days. For 5 minutes each morning, sit in silence and focus all your attention on your breathing. No judgments, no analysis, simply observe each inhale and exhale. When your mind wanders, and it will, gently bring it back to your breathing. This simple exercise is like lifting weights for your attention. With each repetition, you strengthen your ability to direct your mind where you want it to go, not where your impulses take you. Repeat this phrase whenever you feel scattered. My mind is my tool, not my master. I choose where to focus my attention. If you haven't been practicing this deliberate control of your attention, don't be surprised that your results have been inconsistent. As Hill said, lack of perseverance is one of the major causes of failure, and you cannot persevere in what you cannot consistently keep in your mind. If you truly want to transform your life and business this year, commit to being the guardian of your attention. Protect it as the most valuable resource you possess, because it is. And as you continue this journey toward mental mastery, don't forget to hit the notification bell to receive more content that will help you elevate your focus and your results. Now imagine for a moment what would be possible if you could double your capacity for concentration. How much more could you create, solve, innovate, and build? That potential is within you, waiting to be released through the power of applied mindfulness. And that's what we'll discuss in the next point. 2. Eliminating distractions is as vital as the ability to focus. Napoleon Hill expressed it perfectly when he said, "Concentrate on your goals with an indomitable determination that refuses to be dominated by the distractions of everyday life." But in today's world, this is easier said than done, isn't it? We live in the era of constant distraction. Your phone vibrates, your inbox fills up, notifications pop up, obligations pile up, and the internal mental noise rarely quiets down. Each of these interruptions has a much higher cost than you imagine. Did you know that, according to recent studies, when you're interrupted while working on a complex task, it can take up to 23 minutes to reach the same level of concentration again? Multiply that by the dozens of interruptions you face each day, and you'll realize that much of your productive potential is evaporating. But here's the truth you need to understand. Distractions have no power over you unless you grant it to them. Extraordinary people don't have fewer distractions than you. They've simply developed systems to manage them effectively. Napoleon Hill discovered that great achievers established sacred time periods during their day, intervals where nothing and no one could interrupt their concentration on the most important task. They were inflexible with these time blocks, treating them with the same seriousness they would treat a meeting with the president of a nation. When was the last time you worked on something important without checking your phone, without jumping to your email, without allowing interruptions of any kind for at least 90 consecutive minutes? If you're like most people, it's probably been a long time. And therein lies a huge opportunity for you. Here's a practical exercise that has transformed the productivity of countless entrepreneurs. Implement the power block technique. Select the most important task of your day, the one that will really move the needle on your results. Then, reserve 90 uninterrupted minutes to work exclusively on it. Turn off all notifications, close unnecessary tabs, place your phone in another room if necessary, and communicate to everyone around you that during that time you won't be available. During those 90 minutes, focus all your attention on that single task. Don't allow any deviation, any multitasking, any interruption. At first, it will be uncomfortable, even painful. Your mind, conditioned to distraction, will rebel, but persist. With each session, your ability to maintain deep concentration will increase exponentially. Repeat this statement before each power block. For the next 90 minutes, nothing is more important than this task. My full attention is here and now. Can you imagine the impact it would have on your business if you could dedicate even a single power block like this each day? Think about the projects you've been postponing, the opportunities you've let pass because you never find the time to truly focus on them. All that can change starting today. As Napoleon Hill observed, concentrated action conquers all things. It's not just the number of hours you dedicate to your business that determines your success, but the quality of your attention during those hours. 1 hour of deep concentration is worth more than 5 hours of fragmented and distracted work. If you've enjoyed what you're learning so far, make sure to like this video and share it with other entrepreneurs who could benefit from these strategies. Together, we can create a community of focused minds and extraordinarily productive individuals. But eliminating external distractions is just the beginning. There's a much more insidious and difficult to control type of distraction, internal distractions. And that's what we'll discuss in the next point. 3. Mastering your internal dialogue transforms your business reality. Napoleon Hill expressed it brilliantly. Your dominant thoughts determine your destiny. Mindfulness isn't just about being present, but about being aware of the quality and direction of your thoughts while you're present. Most entrepreneurs don't realize they're constantly battling an internal saboteur that never rests, their own negative mental dialogue. This incessant flow of thoughts, worries about the future, regrets about the past, doubts about your ability, comparisons with others, is perhaps the greatest source of distraction you face. Has it happened to you that you're working on an important project and suddenly your mind starts wandering toward all possible failure scenarios? Or perhaps you find yourself mentally reviewing a difficult conversation you had yesterday, imagining all the things you should have said. These thought patterns not only drain your emotional energy, they also steal your ability to fully focus on the present. Napoleon Hill thoroughly studied this phenomenon and came to a revolutionary conclusion. Man can transform himself by changing his thoughts. He wasn't talking about superficial positive thinking, but about deliberate and disciplined control of your internal mental landscape. When you practice mindfulness as an entrepreneur, you develop the ability to observe your thoughts without completely identifying with them. It's as if you could take a step back and see the flow of your consciousness from the perspective of an impartial observer. This distance allows you to consciously choose which thoughts to nurture and which to let pass. Think of your mind as a garden. Each thought is a seed. Some thoughts, if cultivated, will grow like beautiful flowers that will embellish your life. Others will grow like weeds that will choke everything else. The practice of mindfulness turns you into an expert gardener, able to discern between productive and destructive seeds. Here's a transformative exercise. For a week, keep a thought journal. Several times a day, take a few minutes to write down exactly what you're thinking at that moment. Without judging, without editing, simply record the content of your mind. At the end of the week, analyze your notes. What are the recurring patterns? How many of those thoughts serve you and how many sabotage you? How many are focused on problems and how many on solutions? This simple self-awareness exercise can be revealing. Many entrepreneurs discover, to their surprise, that they dedicate up to 70% of their mental time to unproductive concerns, leaving only a fraction of their cognitive capacity available for creativity, problem-solving, and growth. Repeat this affirmation daily. I am the architect of my mental landscape. I consciously choose thoughts that strengthen me and bring me closer to my goals. Napoleon Hill insisted that what occupies your mind most of the time determines your destiny. If your mind is constantly occupied with thoughts of doubt, fear, or self-criticism, those will be precisely the elements you'll manifest in your business reality. Conversely, if you train your mind to focus on opportunities, solutions, and possibilities, you'll open the doors to a level of success that previously seemed unattainable. Has it happened to you that some days you feel unstoppable, with crystal-clear mental clarity and unshakable confidence, while other days you feel trapped in the fog of confusion and doubt? The difference isn't in your external circumstances, but in the quality of your internal dialogue. The next time you notice your mind drifting toward negative or unproductive thoughts, use this mindfulness technique. Stop, breathe deeply, observe the thought without judgment, and then ask yourself, does this thought bring me closer to my goals or pull me away from them? This simple conscious pause can interrupt negative mental patterns that you may have been repeating for years. As an entrepreneur, your mind is your most valuable asset. Don't let it become your worst enemy due to lack of attention and conscious care. Mindfulness offers you the tools to transform your relationship with your thoughts, going from being their victim to being their master. If you're enjoying these principles and want to delve deeper into how to apply them to your business life, make sure to subscribe to this channel and activate the notification bell. Every week we share practical strategies to elevate your entrepreneurial mindset to the next level. Mastering your internal dialogue provides you with extraordinary mental clarity. But there's another equally powerful component of mindfulness that few entrepreneurs fully leverage: emotional intelligence. And that's what we'll discuss in the next point. 4. Conscious management of your emotions determines your ability to make effective decisions. Napoleon Hill expressed it precisely when he said, "Emotions are the most powerful forces within the human personality." The entrepreneur who masters their emotional states has an incalculable competitive advantage. We've all made decisions we later regretted when we were under the influence of intense emotions. Perhaps you sent that email when you were angry, or signed that contract when you were euphoric, or abandoned that project when you felt frustrated. Unmanaged emotions can hijack your rationality and lead you to act in ways that sabotage your long-term goals. Mindfulness trains you to recognize your emotional states in real time before they take control of your behavior. You develop what we might call metacognitive awareness, the ability to observe your own mental and emotional processes as if you were an impartial witness. Have you noticed how some people seem to maintain calm and clarity even in high-pressure situations? It's not that they don't feel intense emotions, it's that they've developed the ability to experience them without being controlled by them. This is precisely the skill you cultivate through regular mindfulness practice. Napoleon Hill thoroughly studied the relationship between emotions and success and came to a fascinating conclusion. Positive emotions must be cultivated and encouraged, while negative emotions must be discarded and eliminated. He wasn't suggesting that you should repress or deny your negative emotions, but that you develop the ability to transmute them, convert their energy into something constructive. Think about your last major business frustration. How did you respond? Many entrepreneurs fall into one of two equally destructive extremes. Either they allow frustration to paralyze them and give up, or they ignore it, and move on without processing the valuable information that emotion is offering them. The conscious entrepreneur takes a different path. They fully feel the frustration, acknowledge it without judgment, extract the lesson it contains, and then channel that emotional energy toward constructive actions. This process of emotional alchemy is one of the most valuable skills you can develop as a leader of your business. Here's a practical exercise to strengthen this ability. Create a personal, emotional thermometer. Several times a day, especially before making important decisions, take 30 seconds to check your current emotional state. On a scale of 1 to 10, how calm are you? How optimistic? How frustrated? How anxious? This simple self-awareness check can prevent countless errors in judgment. If you discover you're in an emotional state that could cloud your judgment, use this mindfulness technique. Breathe deeply for a minute, focusing all your attention on the sensation of air entering and leaving your lungs. This brief interval of conscious attention can interrupt the emotional hijacking and give you back access to your rational capabilities. Repeat this affirmation when you feel emotionally unbalanced. I feel my emotions, but I am not my emotions. I choose to respond with wisdom, not react on impulse. Napoleon Hill observed that self-control is merely control of the mind. When you develop the ability to observe your emotions without completely identifying with them, you regain the power to choose your responses instead of being at the mercy of automatic reactions. Have you noticed that your best ideas and decisions tend to emerge when you're in a state of mental and emotional calm? It's no coincidence. When your nervous system is in balance, you have access to parts of your brain associated with creativity, insight, and strategic thinking. Mindfulness helps you access that state consistently, not just when circumstances are favorable. As an entrepreneur, you face an emotional roller coaster almost daily. Ups and downs, successes and failures, fulfilled expectations, and frustrated hopes. Without a practice that anchors you, it's easy to be at the mercy of that whirlwind. Mindfulness provides you with that anchor, an internal center of gravity that remains stable even when everything around you seems to be in chaos. The next time you find yourself overwhelmed by intense emotions, remember this truth. Your emotions are valuable information, but they're not instructions you must blindly follow. Mindfulness gives you the space to process that information and consciously choose your next step. If you've found value in these strategies so far, share this video with other entrepreneurs who could benefit. Your simple act of sharing could be the catalyst someone needs to transform their relationship with their mind and emotions. Conscious management of your emotions is a crucial component of business success, but there's an even deeper level of mindfulness that, when mastered, can literally redefine what's possible for you. And that's what we'll discuss in the next point. 5. Conscious and directed visualization is the bridge between your dreams and their physical manifestation. Napoleon Hill expressed it unequivocally. Whatever the mind can conceive and believe, the mind can achieve. Mindfulness takes this truth to a completely new level by allowing you to direct your imagination with laser precision. The most successful people in history have used the power of directed visualization to manifest their visions. Thomas Edison visualized his inventions working perfectly before creating the first prototypes. Walt Disney mentally walked through his theme parks years before the first one was built. Steve Jobs could see his revolutionary products with such clarity that he forced his teams to make real what he had already manifested in his mind. What do all these visionaries have in common? They had developed the ability to maintain vivid mental images with unwavering focus, the same skill you cultivate through mindfulness practice. Most people confuse visualization with passive fantasy or daydreaming. They briefly think about what they want, without depth or details, and then get distracted by the demands of everyday life. No wonder their visualizations rarely materialize. The conscious visualization that Napoleon Hill taught, amplified by mindfulness practices, is something completely different. It's an act of deliberate, sustained, and multisensory mental creation. You don't just see your goal, you fully experience it in your mind, with all your senses involved. Think about your biggest business goal right now. Maybe it's reaching a certain income level, launching a new product, or expanding your business to new markets. How often do you visualize that goal already accomplished? And when you do, how vivid and detailed is that visualization? Here's a transformative exercise that combines mindfulness and visualization. Dedicate 10 minutes each morning to a mental immersion in the reality you want to create. Sit in a quiet place, close your eyes, and first center your attention on your breathing until your mind quiets down. Then, with all the intensity and clarity you can gather, project on your mental screen the vision of your goal already achieved. Don't limit yourself to seeing images. Create a complete experience. How do you feel having achieved that goal? What exactly are you seeing? What sounds do you hear? Are there smells or tastes associated? What are you touching or holding? The more senses you involve, the more powerful the impression on your subconscious mind will be. The key is to maintain this visualization with unwavering focus throughout the allotted time. Every time your mind wanders, and it will, gently bring it back to your vision. This discipline of sustained attention is precisely what you strengthen through mindfulness. Repeat this affirmation during your visualization. What I see clearly in my mind, I inevitably attract into my life. My inner vision creates my outer reality. Napoleon Hill discovered that this type of intense and regular visualization activates what he called the infinite mind, an intelligence that goes beyond your conscious capabilities and connects you with possibilities, people, and opportunities that you would otherwise never find. Have you ever wondered why some people seem to consistently have luck finding the perfect opportunities at the right time? It's not luck. It's the result of having programmed their subconscious mind to recognize and attract exactly what they need to manifest their vision. Mindfulness greatly amplifies the effectiveness of this process because it trains you to maintain exclusive focus on your visualization without allowing thoughts of doubt, fear, or negativity to contaminate the purity of your vision. It's like tuning a radio to the exact frequency of what you want to manifest, eliminating all the static. Here's something crucial you must understand. Your subconscious mind doesn't distinguish between a vividly imagined experience and a real experience. The emotions generated, the neural connections formed, even the physiological responses are remarkably similar. When you visualize with the intensity and focus that mindfulness allows you, you are literally training your brain to recognize and create that reality. Napoleon Hill observed that all achievement, all earned wealth, begins in the form of thought. Mindfulness allows you to cultivate and maintain that thought with unprecedented clarity and consistency. The next time you feel doubts about your chances of success, dedicate 10 minutes to this conscious visualization. Observe how your emotional state changes, how your confidence strengthens, and how new ideas and solutions begin to naturally emerge. But remember, visualization without action is merely daydreaming. The true power comes when you use this practice as fuel to take consistent and courageous actions toward your goals. As Napoleon Hill said, knowledge is not power. It is only potential knowledge. It becomes power only when it is organized into definite plans and directed toward a definite goal. If you've found value in what you've learned so far, I invite you to subscribe to this channel and activate the notification bell. Every week we share strategies like these that can transform your entrepreneurial mindset and your business results. Conscious visualization is perhaps the most powerful tool in your mental arsenal. Combine it with the other practices we've discussed: deliberate focus, elimination of distractions, mastery of internal dialogue, and emotional management, and you'll have developed a truly extraordinary mind, capable of manifesting any vision you hold with sufficient clarity and conviction. You've reached the end of this journey through the 5 big ideas that transform the ordinary mind into an unstoppable manifestation machine. Let me summarize what we've learned. The power of deliberate focus is the foundation of all extraordinary achievement. As Napoleon Hill taught us, concentration is the key to exceptional results. Through mindfulness, you strengthen this essential capacity day by day. The systematic elimination of distractions is as important as the cultivation of focus itself. Protecting your attention from external and internal invasions is not a luxury, it's an absolute necessity for the entrepreneur who aspires to greatness. Mastery of your internal dialogue determines the quality of your thoughts, and the quality of your thoughts determines the quality of your results. Mindfulness allows you to observe, evaluate, and consciously direct this internal flow that shapes your reality. Conscious management of your emotions frees you from impulsive reactions and allows you to respond from a place of wisdom and strategy. Your emotional intelligence, cultivated through mindfulness, becomes an unmatched competitive advantage. Conscious and sustained visualization acts as a magnet that attracts to your physical life the conditions, people, and opportunities necessary to manifest your highest vision. With mindfulness, you transform this visualization from an occasional exercise into a powerful and transformative practice. Napoleon Hill dedicated his life to discovering the mental principles that underpin extraordinary success. Mindfulness provides the practical tools to implement those principles in your daily life as an entrepreneur. Always remember, your mind is the architect of your destiny. Every thought you hold, every emotion you cultivate, every vision you maintain is literally shaping your future. With the practices you've learned today, you have the power to direct that creative process with precision and purpose. I invite you to make a commitment to yourself right now. Write below in the comments, "I choose to cultivate a focused and powerful mind through mindfulness. My attention is my most valuable asset, and today I decide to consciously invest it." This simple act of public declaration will reinforce your commitment and connect you with other entrepreneurs on a similar path. If you found value in this video, share it with someone who could benefit from these teachings. Subscribe to our channel, activate the notification bell, and join our community of extraordinary minds determined to manifest their highest visions. Remember, the focused mind conquers all, and mindfulness is the path to cultivate that exceptional mind you deserve. See you in the next video with more transformative strategies for your success.